Collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Can't be stressing. It's all about you. So what you gonna do? Because it's that waiting game for you to gain balance. The balance of your mind. If you're looking at your values, what are you valuing? Looking at your stability. Get sensual with yourself. Be practical. That somebody could be looking at you and thinking, oh my gosh, that's an empress. You could be using your intuitions and gaining higher clarity. You could be a Taurus, Gemini, take it all as it resonates. You could just be stable and people are stubborn in regards towards you because you're standing in your power. People could be speaking about you while you're growing and you're birthing, you're manifesting, creating. You've got fluidity of speech, high clarity of mind. You're able to continuously keep on moving forward with insight. You're balancing, nurturing, caring. Somebody could be looking at you standing in that Nine of Pentacles, looking at you as that success, achievements, knowing yourself, you're self-secure, you got that inner standing to overstand. That's when you encompass virtues like you've gone from childhood to being a teenager to adulthood, you birthed, you had kids, you're able to be stable, you're able to be able to grow, you're manifesting, you're creating, you're obtaining, you're speaking, you're enabling, you're supporting. That's that Two of Cups. That's when you're open, nurturing, caring, providing. Take it all as it resonates. 333, going towards that liberation with your balance and harmony. Take it all as it resonates. Somebody could be looking at you and thinking, oh my gosh, how beautiful are you? And you can see now they're using their hidden skills and using their intuitions to get into that creative side of their mind. They could have been like institutionalized in their mind because of where they grew up and their mindset and their values. Two different values. You could have been like different religions, different backgrounds, higher clarity, higher awareness. One steadfast, one organized, one moving with certain actions, always creating. You could be always creating. They could see that you're always creating. Take this all as it resonates. On 1, 2, 3, turn it on down because it is loud, but it clears the energy and it clears the air. Someone's awakening, they're having a realization in regards to who you are and the actions and their values that they took. They could be wanting to open up their throat chakra now to be able to speak towards you and let you know about this false alarm. They're having deja vu. They're saying, oh my gosh, this bond, it's unbreakable. They may be looking at you and saying, oh, I'm getting payback, like a karmic payback. Take it all as it resonates. They may be looking at you and may want to pay you back because that's you growing and moving, creating. They maybe want to work and create with you. And they have in high clarity of their mind, your mind. Take it all as it resonates. Let's just see what comes out of this back. It says, learning, your grace, timing, divine timing is perfect. So they're saying they're learning your grace, timing, divine timing, it's perfect. They're taking that transaction to be able to gain that balance. They may see that you're balanced. I don't feel why I was worthy of you, your love. You looked in the wrong place. So they could have been saying, oh, I looked in the wrong place. They didn't feel that they was worthy. Take this all as it resonates. Can I tell you a secret? I'm geek. I love reading books. So you're a geek. You're creative. You love reading books. This person that you could be meeting, they could be coming towards you. Somebody could be having their eyes on you, seeing you as a high priestess. And now they can see that you're powerful. They can maybe come in now because they're persistent. They can see you're reading books and you're knowledgeable. You've got wisdom. You've got inner standing to be able to understand different cultures, backgrounds. Just grumpy like his dad was. So this divine feminine masculine could be grumpy like their father was. Blocked and trapped their emotions. Lock it in a way. Don't show and express themselves. All hidden about those roots and the foundations, the people, the relationships, family members, friends you have these relationships with. You're in that low dense energy, not giving insight, indecisive, born 60 miles down the road, lived there my whole life. So this person could have been born 60 miles down the road from you, could have lived there your whole life. Take this all as it resonates. You're just in that balanced mind, looking at those values now, because now they're seeing those not looked worthy of that love. because they was on that financial, the mindset, different backgrounds, different religions, different understandings. Now they can be saying you got that higher clarity, they're getting higher clarity. They didn't have understanding about love. They was moving in those red chakras, like running through the money, the mind, and not connecting to their soul to behold, to be able to grow. And having that love, they was indecisive in regards to love. They didn't have higher clarity, maybe because of their mindset, the way they grew up. They didn't have that introspection about when you're taking actions, or because of what they was valuing. Take this all as it resonates, guys. They could have had that aggressive energy, and they was like a fire sign, and that's like controlling, stubborn, or because of like, you know, when you're protective, and that's like you didn't have that courage. But when you did have the courage in a different way, now they could be gaining that higher clarity. That's that vitality of life. I mean, you have to look at your ego. Now they can see, oh my gosh, their mindset, to the way how they learn, the attitude, what they put out in public, and because of like your knowledge, and they was rebelling and wasn't doing good. So it's like, you know, when you inherit and you commit sin and you're doing all that sin and you're detached from emotions, so you didn't show people how you really felt, so you move with your ego, that fire, passion, and not creative in that right way, taking risks and gambling. Take this all as it resonates, guys, because gambling love, gambling those relationships, as you can tell, that there's secrets. They've been saying they read books, they can see you read books, you like reading books to gain that knowledge, so they could be gaining this higher knowledge now about they've got a blocked chakra, that higher knowledge to release that base chakra, to unblock that chakra, about their attitude and their approach towards life, all about their ego. They was unbalanced, and when they was in certain communities having conflicts, and it was causing instabilities because who they was creating with, they didn't have that harmony. And now they could be looking back towards you and seeing that fertility with you, that solar plexus, our creative mindset. They're thinking they can see you're a high priestess. They're using their intuitions now. They could have lived 60 miles down the road from people within that community and who they were serving. Take it all as it resonates. And that was choices, what, from a relationship and like people, or where you was working. It was 60 miles down the road. They lived there the whole life. Friend, family member, stand your ground. So that was a friend and family member. They could have been aggressive towards you. They could have been arguing and clashing, trying to block you. They could have been using some hidden spells. Hidden spells. They was blocking you from moving. They had great aggression. They was competing against you. Stubborn. A family member, a friend that was being vain. They didn't want you to, they was like idolizing you, obsessing because of what you doing, how you moving, how you're creative, and your hidden skills, and how you've got that passion, you've got balance, you've got harmony, you're able to speak. And that's when you're having discernment. So you may have discernment about one of these family members and friends. They could live like no less than 60 miles down the road from you for your whole life. That's not helpful. So what their mindset was, what they had, oh, that's not helpful, because they was in that addictions, causing these illusions, confusions, or because of fear, because of their mindset, what they valued, how they learned, because they was institutionalized in their mind. They was blocked. They didn't have that discernment, and the way how you spoke, you communicated your truth, and that was you standing with that willpower. They didn't like that you put boundaries in place. That's all because of the mindset and their attitude, you know, like because of their ego and the energy that they put out. And that's about your stability, your security. So they was blocking your stability, security. They was blocking the spell work, magician, root chakra, that routine check, because you was inspiring them, really. Take this all as it resonates, guys. And that's because that was like enthusiasm they put in towards there. They put bad energy in there because you was going towards your goals, and they was in their mind because of your dreams and your ambitions. Take this all as it resonates. They didn't want to be able to transform. That's because you wasn't able to have that structure, your leadership. You was moving forward, you was growing. People didn't like how you was growing. They were slowing these family members and friends because they was indecisive, or because of their energy and their attitude, or for material. Look how it dropped, for material. And that's the truth. Things ain't going how things should, because now it's all on them. This could be a divine feminine, masculine, take it all as it resonates. This could be a family member, a friend, you're gaining insight. Now they're connecting to their heart. You had to stand your ground, from those feminines, masculines, take it all as it resonates. Libra, Aries, Leo, as well as Virgo. He thinks the whole time I was lying. Had my reasons. So that person thinks the whole time you was lying. You had high clarity. You gained introspection. You had to protect yourself. You had to listen to that spirit within inside of you. Continuously moving with love. Continuously gaining that higher clarity. And you seeing these people trying to block, because it was all about financial materials. That's like music, creative, when you're doing arts, such as Nara, I'm creating on the screen. That's like Leo, mother, father figure. And that's when you got children and who you working with and people are being stubborn. Take this all as it resonates, guys. Because when you have to start looking at that's like your kids' firstborn. Even when you're having love affairs and romance and what you're enjoying to the way how you're enjoying it. They was gambling. And it's like your creative abilities. People wanted to block you. Take this all as it resonates, guys. That was friends, family. And it was close people to you, open enemies. That you know, because of how you projected yourself and you had that higher wisdom and you was like creating and securing. That's all about your personal pleasures. So when people seeing you, even your children, take it all as it resonates. You wasn't able to have boundaries in place because that blocked root chakra. I said some horrible things, divine masculine. I come drunk, said terrible things. The one who put hands on you slept with your best friend. That mum has gone. They could have lied and said I was extra drives and doing certain things on you. It's not real. First time in my life I can actually really say I feel anything, divine feminine. Imagine a person who's had success, all these things, cars, women. First time I've really felt anything. So they had a blocked root chakra because of their attitude. They was flight and detached from their emotions. Didn't know how to have boundaries because they was in that childlike spirit. Now they're gaining that high clarity and wisdom. That's because they was too confident and self-assured, fiery, like bad energy, or because of the ego, arguing, but trying to control their self, but at the same time take leadership and trying to secure things, and you're not able to grow. Everything just causes instability, and you're not got that correct mindset because you're institutionalizing your mind, like when you go to prison and the schools and how you're learning, or you gain higher educational system knowledges. That's because you're trying to take that leader and trying to always control and take that leadership skills, and that's because of like dominance over resources, people, friends. That's that kind of thing there, like that, like you're taking control, but you're not got that control of clarity of your mind. They all had gifts for me. They was all crying. You thought touch them with your presence. So those family members, friends, they had gifts for them. It was all crying 60 miles down the road. You was enabling people to gain balance. That was it. People was like, when you was adventurous and you had to be defensive, people had gifts for you, that love, that joy, that higher clarity, that inner standing towards you, the enlightenment. Now they're gaining that inner standing. Praying, manifesting with honor, helping, enlighten the power within. So you're now they're enlightening, you're enabling people. Now they can see that you was not that rightful person. You didn't have that rightful wisdom, and you are not supposed to be able to help, support, care, uplift the community, empower, give them that discernment, enable them to be able to detach and have that grace for yourself as well as other people, supporting people, looking for that inspiration, to have that knowledge, even trusting in that higher source. Like you didn't have that higher source, like you wasn't connected to the divine. They could have said that you was fake and you had these addictions and you was confused and you was crazy and you was stressed within your mind. Like you had these illusions, like you didn't have compassion, like you didn't touch people with your heart. And you wasn't able to move on because it was a karmic cycle of stress, conflict, and that was putting you in that. You wasn't able to gain that balance, clarity. You had that love within your heart. You had your rod, your staff to comfort you. You kept on moving forward. You've seen that light. You had to lean on the rock and your pillow because that was the universe guiding you because the end of that karmic cycle. So you wasn't able to end that You had the realizations that people was deceiving you, lying, family, friends, or because they was patiently planning to block you, or because that was 14, they didn't have that temperance and balance of their mind, or because they was using these hidden skills. They could have even been aggressive. This masculine could have been aggressive. They could have been around somebody who had some hidden skills, blocking them, stopping them, control, because they thought they was like, you know, when you're Christian, those family members and friends thinking they was getting that triumph. Now they was doing spell work, trap them in fear. Now they can see that recognition, reward. Now they want to be able to take that step to that new beginning. They're gaining strength and power, higher clarity, awareness as regards to those family members and friends. You, this high priestess, take this all as it resonates, guys, because 15, that's that death transformation. They're awakening now because they're seeing those devil energies for the illusions, all because spell work, mindset towards money, childlike spirit. Now they're looking now because about the partner's resources and the finances, and when you're putting certain things in and taxes and inheritances, it's causing stress and conflict because he thinks the whole time I was lying about these people. You could have told them. You had higher clarity and you explained to these people about driven through jealousy and people's jealous of you, friends, family, bad mind. They're watching you. They don't want you to grow. That's because they're in that subconscious mind and they know what they was doing. When they was doing these things, lying, speaking bad, clinging on, idealistic, because it was driven through jealousy. That's because it wasn't looking at the fact of their mindset, the way how their ego was, low dense energies, fight and flight, gambling, your life, your relationships, not having that clarity and really thinking or having compassion, gaining knowledge. 13, now they're having that death because they're seeing now, they're gaining introspection. You know, when you have to go to inside and you have to refine, restore, renew one's thoughts, one's feelings, one's actions, gain higher clarity because you're balanced. Are you moving with love? Who was sharpening certain irons and who was blocking you when the writing was on the wall? Because they're looking, transforming now. That's about this relationship. Because they're seeing not everything first time, they didn't see it the first time, who they was working with and who people was working hard to be able to speak about you, to be able to block that relationship. They're looking back because they're getting higher clarity now. Certain people have got a social awareness of you. They was detached and flight, so from emotions, feelings, not speaking, effective communicating towards you, having compassion and having that inner standing to be able to put that work in. And when you're putting that work into that relationship, you know, yeah, it's clear, it's justice. They can see you as a high priestess. Now they're gaining introspection. They didn't lack strength, they lack courage. They can see you as hardworking, you had courage, you had strength, you had wisdom, you wasn't able to decode codes. You was an all-rounder. Certain people was persecuting you, lying on you because of the way how you was acting and the way how they was acting. They was acting with aggression, those family members and friends, extra drives. Take this all as it resonates. They was trying to block you and trying to be able to create families. They was trying to look at all the mechanisms, add to the way how you do certain things and copy you to a T. Because they was trying to be able to manifest at help now. At money. They thought they was going to gain money. They did that all for money, holding on to money, resources. You know, that fame. So they was doing a one bag of illusions, one bag of confusions. That feminine was doing spell work towards that masculine to block them, clarity of their mind. Because the extra energies, take it all as it resonates in a childlike spirit. They could have created a child and had to serve them, blocking. And it was for money, family, friend. I think today is the day I met my wife. So they thought that today was that day they met that wife. That hard work they put in because they was idolizing, looking after golden calves. You know, when that pretty on the outside and wicked on the inside. Like a Queen of Wands but Queen of Swords kind of woman that didn't have compassion, that didn't have clarity. They was out in those extra energies, all partying, socializing, doing things in the unknown. Now they're gaining higher clarity about the actions that people took. Take this all as it resonates. They could have got married and thought, oh yeah, I met that wife and thought I was going to transform and have that happier lifestyle. Now they're realizing that butterfly wasn't so much of a butterfly because there's like a skull in there, like it was horrible. They took the wrong one. Now they're gaining higher clarity. That's where the love was. They took action in that low dense energy. I thought they was like creating and manifesting. Now they're seeing they transformed into a witch. No matter what path, there will be trials, challenges and heartbreaks, but least was purpose. Are you ready to see the truth? So now they're seeing they took certain paths. Now they're gaining clarity. They took introspection out, socializing, partying with others in the unknown. They're gaining high clarity. That's when they was fertilizing and thinking that they was being creative. Now they're saying when they're transformed, they picked up idolizing, butterflies, golden calves. They can see those illusions. Now they're looking back towards that love because that's where their heart is. They can see that transformative, that's that higher clarity, joy, peace, stability, hope, prosperity alongside you, divine feminine. They can see you, they was juggling relationships, values, all for money. Now they're stressed because that's trapped in fear, having anxiety. Now you're not there. And they're seeing that hard work, all that higher clarity into actions. Who raised you? Apologize. So now they're apologizing, that mother figure, that auntie, take it all as it resonates. A grandma who needs a ride, Bible study. So that grandma, auntie figure who needed a ride to Bible study, cousin, doing things in illusion. So they could have acted like there was an occultist and doing spell work, hard work, thinking they was being creative to block you, stop you, causing confusions, illusions, speaking bad about you, being wise, judgmental. Taxes not paid for in 4 years, was cancelled, being trying to get in contact, being avoiding. So certain people, they could have been trying to get like moving around and not unable to move. So they needed money. And so they was providing them with money, stability. This man, you see, is a different man. I'm innocent. Please don't hate me, divine feminine. So they're going to say, this family, friend, that man is a different man. Please don't hate me. I was holding on to them, doing certain specific things. What was I holding on for? Because they're a different man. They're letting you know they was putting some hard work in. They was using aggression, all in their ego, trying to block you, out socializing, partying with your masculine. 9 of Swords, now they're having anxiety because of that spell work. What they was doing, it's bouncing right back towards them. They're feeling all dark down now. Now they're looking back at their actions that they took. Now they're getting that higher clarity that they were spiritually blocked, spiritually blind, spiritually barren. They wasn't morally right. They tried to block you and stop you, to give you anxiety, doing spell work on you, so causing you confusion, so you wasn't able to speak and having that truth. Take it all as it resonates. Hard work, collaborating. Ace of Cups for your love. And that's that 4 of Cups. So he was like process and those emotions, those family members, a friend. That was because of their habits, what they was doing to get you in your emotions. That was about your comforts and your stabilities, because they was being selfish, like a right bitch, hard working, chatting shit, watching you, social awareness of you, the way you're doing certain things, trying to keep speaking bad and like your bad mind, and you don't want somebody to progress, and they're rebelling and making and causing confusion. So that's like of your mind. So you're questioning yourself and your own abilities, like you're doing the rightful thing and you know you're doing the wrong thing, and you're not having that discernment, higher clarity. Because they tried to block your money. They can see this Ace of Swords. Now they can see someone's going to come in and quickly come and tell you and speak to you and let you know you got this higher clarity. Our people was trying to hold on and secure this foundation. They was blocking you. Now they're seeking that higher wisdom about this money and this feminine. And now she was doing spell work because she was idolizing, and this masculine's getting higher clarity in regards to people's finances and the way our people was blocking, because that was that psychological part. They could have been having threatening their illness now. Take it all as it resonates, doing it to a right creative depth. And that's so the secrets that was in the unknown about certain actions that they was doing, even when they was having extra transformations and they was moving in like for resources, what they was sharing with other people, that feminine, those family members and friends within that community. Even when they was speaking about the inspiration and about our love and they're gaining balance and trying to knock people off. You're seeing about the actions that people was putting hard work in. this Witch of Pentacles. Because you're earth sign, that could have been an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, take it all as it resonates. Water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, they was clinging on, idealistic, driven through jealousy, unrealistic. They didn't look at the mystical parts, use their intuitions as you did. You was powerful, they was dependable on money. That was so, you know, like, also you can be seen. Also people can see you. And this divine feminine, masculine, they're stressed, they're in their mind now. They're thinking, because they're saying, oh my gosh, they wasn't grounded, they didn't have that stability, they want clarity of mind, or because of what they was valuing, they was too busy having extra energies, running after golden calves. They want steadfast, organised, they didn't have no discipline, or because of like nurturing skills, or because of the way how they grew up, the mindset, what they valued. They didn't like understand their own selves and the nurturing parts of the self. They now looking, they was too busy traveling. They maybe want to travel towards you now, come back and give you this balance, because they're gaining that higher clarity. They need to be able to transform, to get trapped out of that mind. They need to be able to release those burdens, because they're in their mind and conflicted about, they need to get grounded to be able to take them actions, to be able to walk. They're all stressed now about that spell work. You be speaking and you got higher clarity. Or because they was in their ego, now they can see they was trying to control. They can see you got that higher clarity and you're that star. When you don't know if you're going to make it and the end don't seem near, that anxiety, you look at what you've been focusing on. And I was focused on me. So they was too in their ego, focusing on them. They didn't have that high clarity because it's that socializing, partying, taking action, communicating with people. They thought they was wise, indecisive. They didn't have balance of mind because they didn't love themselves and they didn't nurture themselves. They was just running after golden, like the media, as what we see on that physical world. They weren't transforming and changing and like that butterfly. You need a strong, assertive man to make decisions for you. So they was like, oh, I'm that one, that dominant one in their ego. You know, like you're an executive producer or something like that. And they're producing your shit for you. They wanted to take control because of their structures. They wanted to obtain power and position, like they was trying to tame, like they was trying to, they're the lion. But you was taming that lion. You wasn't able to tame them. Now they're seeing them sudden changes. They was on that karmic cycle. You was that destiny. They didn't understand to be able to overstand, to be able to accept the balance. They was like acting and reacting because there was confusions with the illusions and didn't want to let go. And now they have to have that tower moment because of their lack of mindset. They didn't want to have balance to be able to understand, to overstand the situations where they are, why they're in that place, who they're serving, why you're feeling this health issues, what's effing you up. Then you start gaining that introspection, that higher clarity. Sounds like you've been talking about divine feminine in that way. You spoke some bad things, so they could have said that you was not clarity, you was clinging on, you was bugging them, you was not that rightful one, you've got these bad habits and you're like got no security, you've not got no firm foundations, like you're not steadfast, you got no heart, you got no compassion, you wasn't caring, you weren't providing, you weren't supporting, like you didn't have no forgiveness. They gave you that one cup, you had these 3 cups. You was caring, providing, supporting. They was running through low dense energies with aggression. You was that one who was wise. They was like two-faced, and you seen that they thought you had courage. Sounds like you've been talking to me. Yes, sounds like it was. Not always easy being a messenger for the Most High. Those you love take offense as you speak the truth about their actions. So you spoke the truth about these divine feminines, masculines' actions. Now they're having anxiety because of their mindset towards money. When they was having these relationships and the person who done spell work and they was running after idealistic costs, detached from their own emotions, or because it was in their ego, they express anger, hurt, pain, all things what they've been hiding from childhood, all those illusions, addictions, confusions, chaos of their mind. That's because they was rebelling against what's right and not revealing, having all these illusions, what caused confusions. They was like manipulations and like for temptations and destructions. That's because of the ego. You were speaking the truth. They wanted to cause stress and conflict to make you feel like you was off balance, like you wasn't able to. You had to put boundaries in place. You had to take that action to be able to grow, change. You had to keep on moving forward with that higher clarity and wisdom. Give yourself love. Speak about it. Be about it. Listen to the spiritual guides. Take that action. You wasn't able to look because you was wise. You wasn't able to have that balance. You see when certain people was being objective towards you. The flight and detached from their emotions. They had a social awareness of you speaking. Are you grounded? And then vex because you wasn't able to use your creative skills to be able to express about virtues of life. And when you go through heartache, hurt and pain, and when you grow up from childhood to adulthood and you go through those adolescences, and it's a transformation of mind, of clarity. All those people was there for a reason. Yep, you went through that stage where you had to be courageous. Yes, you had to depend on yourself, use your own powers. Yes, you had to be wise. Yes, you had to protect yourself from people who didn't enable you and make you feel good, made you feel stressed. Those people that was being selfish, clinging on to your partner, assets, resources, trying to block you, stop you, watching you. You was versatile. You seen the way how they was voracious. You was brave. You had to protect yourself. You kept on moving forward in that Virgo energy, having discernment, clarity of mind, third eye activated, controlling, listening to the spirit within inside of you. So continues having passion and looking and connecting to that wholeness. That was you being creative and making sure that when you're charming, you're enabling people, giving balance. That's when you're moving with love, joy, compassion, forgiving those for the sins that they trespassed against you. They didn't lead you into that temptation. You wasn't able to take that action and transform. Go towards your success because that was your inner strength. You tamed the lion within inside of you, that anger, that hurt, that aggression. Let go, you release those emotions because that was that energy. You was created, it was your inner strength. You kept on keep on moving forward because you was wise, spiritual knowledge, philosophical knowledge, wisdom. I'm out telling my son I love him. See him some other time. So they're telling their child now, they could be having problems with their child now. And they've got to see them another time. They had to release because they couldn't afford. They could have had to go. They could have been having problems now, dominant or feminine over them. Take it all as it resonates. They may even need to be having surgery because that's that house now. They're like identifying. That's like philosophical and higher knowledge, and that's when you like your mindset to transforming and changing psychological mind. 5. They're about to be able to take their son somewhere now because that's like, you know, when you're looking at what they enjoy and then there was gambling and separating, so they could have separated from a child, family. Take it all as it resonates. Walk around acting holier than thou. They fake. So people was walking around acting like they was holier than thou. They was fake. Idolizing. You know when you go to church and they always fucking fake. The ones at the church are always fake. That's because you was that messenger. You was speaking that truth. You had clarity. You was balanced. And they was lying. They thought they was being creative. They can see now you was loyal, royal. House will be seized. Being in the dark about state affairs. So now they're seeing this property is getting seized. You can seek in higher knowledge information that property is getting seized. They didn't realise. They weren't using their intelligence. They weren't being flexible with the payments. Take it all as it resonates because that was about assets and there was gambling. Had to go court. Take it all as it resonates. 14. Temperaments. Certain people trying to take control and trying to, I'm securing this property. Virgin Islands honeymoon. So they could have gone on a Virgin Islands honeymoon. You could be going on a Virgin Islands honeymoon. Take it all as it resonates for that liberation. People are stalking you. Got them 34. Because you need a strong, assertive man. Male decision for you. Strong-minded, strong-souled. Because they have an anxiety. Oh. Because they're having higher clarity. They was chasing after golden calves because that was their habits, their insecurity. They wasn't steadfast. They was holding on for these illusions and confusions and taking that action. They didn't gain that high clarity and inspiration. And now they're listening to the spiritual guides. That third eye is activating. They're feeling that love. They're getting an higher clarity in regards to this golden calf, holding on to your masculine, that feminine, doing spell work. Take it all as it resonates. clinging, selfish, trying to secure. Now they're in anxiety. They could have even been traveling, broke, this feminine, like needed somewhere to stay. Went to that masculine, was trying to control and like what was being brave, who was protecting for. Because I'm out to tell my son I love him. See him all the time. Oh, I'm not going to take them. Paradise, child, 1, actions, 2, family, court, 3, 1, 5, karmic energy, feminine, gambling, risks, services. They could be in services, they could have gotten care, they could have that a child got put in care. Take this all as it resonates, tell my son I love him. Oh, they don't want to tell me this, you know. It's landed right there. 2, law of oneness. That's about stubborn, money, values, wise, intuitions, family, love, unity, balance, partnership, values. Taurus, Libra, feminine. Taurus, Libra, 2, 7, 9. High clarity, they're seeking knowledge about this feminine. Certain blocks to this child. People are angry. Take it all as it resonates. You could be gaining higher inspiration about this nurturing and the way you nurture yourself and others. A mother, honouring that mother, feminine. That blocked that divine masculine spell work. 3, 4, 6. Service, community, where they are. Take it all as it resonates, guys. The Virgin Islands, on the moon, is speaking this truth. Oh, eye starts twitching. What does it look? What it means when your left eye starts twitching about these snakes, this feminine energy was possessing this property. 4, indecisive, charming, a feminine friend, family, close to your masculine. They was having a relationship with a snake. Was trying to sting them for a property, balance, value, money, trying to possess. You can see they was working alongside with. That could be about work and stuff for wages, money, role. Take it all as it resonates, guys. 2, perfection. There was an extra energy as a child, so they could be arguing in regards to a child. Stagnant. Take it all as it resonates. Why? Because went back to where I was when a kid. I felt led, not a hunch. Someone, something inside me told me help others to improve. So good. So they went back. They could be speaking to a feminine and letting them know to protect. And now you're going to be creative, use your intuitions, have compassion, connect to that feminine energy. They could have had hidden skills and speaking, clinging on to them for comfort and stability. Now they're having anxiety and stress because that was balance. They may be giving them temperaments now and telling them they may need temperaments, balance, to look at their actions in their mind. That old woman could have told them, stop running after golden calves. Listen to the spirit within inside of you. I can't tell why, but feeling normally my guard's coming down. Just look in his eyes. So now you can see their guards coming down. Just look in their eyes. They're having that transformation. They're getting higher clarity, awakening. I don't understand why he called me here, but I'm looking for answers. So the law of 1, that 2, that partner could be calling you there, but you're looking for these answers. So they could be searching for answers. I found love in ways I didn't think was true. Feel a love, all I need is you. So now that this masculine could be thinking and connecting now, using their intuitions, seeing you as this empress. Take it all as it resonates. This masculine, this high priest, the emperor is looking at you, saying, oh my gosh, they're using their intuitions now. Hurt people, not letting others' actions stop me from loving you. So they're saying, hurt people. Those family members and friends, they're gaining clarity, they're moving with love, they're getting eye action, gaining that balance about certain people's actions. They're listening to the spirits as certain people stung them. That was a block in that relationship. They could have been at a karmic attachments to certain people. Take this all as it resonates. They're getting higher clarity. They could be stalking you. This feminine could have been stalking you. Take it all as it resonates because of this detachment. They were detached from their emotions, thoughts and feelings. Looking you up. Free. Online. Searching. Analysing. Cyber stalking you. Getting info all upon you. Because that's that law of oneness. They don't understand now because he called her and to be looking for answers about this law, the oneness, the values, the partnership, who they was hooking up with and what they're hooked to and how you're doing what you're doing and the emotions and who feels what emotions and what's still growing. They want to know higher introspection because about them too. Love, about the friend, this feminine that was trying to block, maybe holding on. Because hurt people, telling others to be able to step in and stop from loving you. Dust off, to tell you to dust off, let go. Why? Cleanse that heart. Look at the actions. Because they was hustling to be able to make it rain. Focus on the bag. Money mission. That was their mission. Because they was looking you up. What was they looking you up for? Ooh. Dirty offer. Copycat. Copies. Oh, so they was looking you up. They may want to be able to come and give you a dirty offer. They was up with a copycat. Now they're dusting off because of those groupies hustling. They was what they was hustling. Now they got car drama. Oh, hustling because of these habits. What caused car drama? So they could have crashed their car when they was out partying, and now they could be dusting off certain rumours because about this jackpot. They may see you as a jackpot. Repo, nightmare, always asking for a ride, those groupies. They're dusting them off because there was a copycat trying to hook them up, wanting these dirty offers, cyber watching, bullying you, all because they had these bad habits, repeating mistakes. Don't you worry, it was all for a reason. I wish my truth wasn't so rough lately. So now they wish their truth wasn't so rough when they was giving dirty offers to people, hooking up and booking up people, online texting, online dating, all sorts of stuff, cyberbullying you. God didn't just create mountains, creeks, valleys, but we can't stay. We have to climb. You too great to climb. So they could see that you're great to climb. They're seeing these dirty offers. You ain't climbing for no dirty offers. You've got to commit yourself to find out. So they got hooked up to a copycat, so that to commit themselves, connect to their emotions, could not start using their intuitions now. Seeing how people was creative and thought they was wise. Now they see how there's two-faced. So you are an artist. So they could have said there was an artist and there, someone to be creative and they want to be able to get in that way. He and his ways are just. He and his ways are just bad because they have those habits full of crap. Money making, GUS, thinking you're making that quick book also. Getting rich, dying, trying. Not going to lie. They betrayed trust, committed adultery. So they betrayed trust with a family member, a friend in their community, your community that you could have known, that lives 60 miles down the road from you. Take this all as it resonates. Let's not go into the past because the past becomes a dark place. About those habits, their drug habits, when they have the sexual energies, car repoed, lost money, there was with a copycat, a group here, one of those family members and friends having sexual energies, they could have took them to court, one of them could have got locked up. Now you're going to see about the actions that people was taking. They're gaining higher clarity that they was locked and blocked within their mind. Now they're trapped and having this higher clarity and awakening. It was a karmic cycle that they was on because of their illusions and the confusions they was holding. Now they've got look back about their mindset towards money, what they was valuing. You didn't have enough money to stay at a hotel. And I know I was the last person you need till the night time. You could ask me for money. I know you as well. So I'm a lend, divine. gonna give me back. So they could have needed money from those groupies. So they borrowed them money to be able to stay, properties, secure a property. Take this all as it resonates. Their property, that's why they got hooked up and upped up. Certain people had a social awareness of them. For that person offered that divine feminine, masculine, extra energies when they stopped in that property. They was wanting more, part of a relationship, formed a relationship with a family member and a friend. Take it all as it resonates. Just get some letters out. Any letter? Oh, that's too many. So we'll take B. That was all came out one time, didn't it? T. So they could have been betting. K. It was all wanted to come out for a reason. C. N. Somebody nick. Kite. Tack. Sting. Stink. Someone's cat stinks. Someone's kitty cat stinks. KK. A again. So we've got CKT, cat. BIC. Someone could have been a bitch. Someone could have been a bait. Someone was a snake. It could have been an auntie. Could have been a cuz. What's in my hand? K again. And D on the top. Take it all as it resonates. Bape. They was moving like an ape. In sin. They was in sin. The snake was in sin. They bit the snake in sin. Yes, they did. Take it all as it resonates. They was moving like ants. They must have them in their pants. Yep, because they must have been on. They may see you as a snack. Take it all as it resonates, guys.